We are gonna be stuck in this car forever. It's already the hour mark and I haven't even done anything. Man, did I lose again? Freaking! Guess who's the worst lawyer in Alternia? It's me! Part 2, let's go. Ooh, oh, yay, we got the right thing this time, please. Wait, before continuing, I would like the court to examine Bronya's itinerary for the trip. Oh, let's see it then. Objection! Your Honorable Tyranny, I don't see what relevance this line of inquiry has in the case. This feels suspiciously like stalling for time. What's wrong, Stells? I thought you liked a tight itinerary. Zizi, don't air out our laundry like that in a public court. Keep your shirt on, babe. I meant it literally. Bronya here was the one who established the initial timeline for the case. Don't you want to make sure she's dotted all the proverbial I's and slashed all the metaphorical T's? Sigh, you know, I thought I have a weakness for grammatical punctiliousness and, well, facetiousness in general. Yeah, that's why I carefully pressed hidden coffee rings into every notebook you own. Oh, you really know how to wrinkle my pressed collars. Love to see this kind of stuff. Please, you didn't even let me explain. If you look at the first item on the itinerary, you'll find reference to the term accountability. What's an accountability? Well, that's when friends learn about being responsible together. Responsibility is a very... She makes us hold hands every time we go anywhere together. Oh, that's... humiliating? Yes, if I never have to feel Lanera's clammy, sweaty palm in mine again, it would be too soon. Hey! So you're saying that Lanera was your accountability buddy? Unfortunately. Which would make Wanchi's Daria's? Oh yes, we always have so much fun together! No, we don't. Bronya, I want to be absolutely clear on where everybody was and when. Can you tell us about your accountability buddy system in a little more detail? Well, I don't see how it could hurt. I assure you, assignment of accountability buddies is standard practice. Our cloister does not currently experience the kind of problems that would cause me to be suspicious of my friends. There is no special reason behind it. Besides, it's a way to keep track of special duties. And since you asked, I can confirm that the accountability buddy pair-ups on this trip were Lank and Lanera, Wanchi and Daria. These were decided by Lanera and I ahead of time. Have I answered all your questions? To be honest, not really. Would you mind going over all that again? Oh, of course. It would be my pleasure to waste as much of your time as possible. Can I press you on this one? Wait, didn't you tell me earlier you had a friend who was called? Well, yes, I suppose I did tell you that. You said it was because of this series, too. I told you that as well, yes. That was several sweeps ago, however. But in my testimony, I said that we do not currently experience any problems. That would give me cause to be suspicious of my friends. Okay, but don't you think that this is kind of an important detail? If you insist. Assignment of accountability buddies is standard practice. Our cloister does not currently experience the kind of problems that cause me to be suspicious of my friends. However, several sweeps ago, a friend of mine had an incident letter to be called. I sometimes wonder if she would have been saved if she had an accountability buddy, but that I did not factor in my decision to implement the practice when I became the eldest in the cavern. So you see, there's no special reason behind it, besides it's a way to keep track of special duties, and since you asked, it was this. Okay, I'm gonna press this. Wait, is there any significance behind the pair-ups you chose? No. What did the rest of you have to say about that? Well... Objection! The rest of you are not currently on the stand. They've been interjecting the whole time, and you haven't complained yet. Because it wasn't advantageous for her to complain until now. I'm impressed, Stels. You've got it in you after all. Must I remind you that the job of an auditor terror is to investigate lapses of judgment and decorum within the deepest and most secretive bowels of the Empire? We are the ones who decide the fates of the legislators who lose their way. We have to be at least twice as canny, if not half as brutal. I'll have to watch my back once we're off planet. Well, not if I watch it for you, sweetheart. Wow, was that an innuendo? I knew this trial would awaken things in you. LOL, this quadrant vacillation is whack. I don't understand what any of that meant, but I can get back. Can we get back on track? Okay, accountability. It's all say on the matter. Simon, accountability buddies. A standard practice. Our cloister does not currently. I wonder, it could have been saved. So you see, there is no special reason behind it, besides a way to keep track of special duties. And since you asked, it's this. Let's try pressing her on this. What kind of special duties? By special duties, I mean completely normal responsibilities. Like hanging out, handing out the snacks, taking care of the locker key, doing bed checks, keeping track of the luggage, leading the travel games and group sing-alongs, etc. You don't trust your friends to keep track of those things on their own? Of course I do. It's just that everything is more fun if you're doing it with a buddy, even the morning chores. I think everyone disagrees with that. Sigh. Since they're completely normal responsibilities, could you add them to your testimony? Certainly. There is no special reason behind it. Just keep track of special duties. These responsibilities include handing out snacks, taking care of the locker key, doing bed checks, sing-alongs, accountabilities decided by Lanera ahead of time. You mean this locker key? Wait, did you say that accountability pair-ups were responsible for taking care of the locker keys? Yes. Aha! What now? Terone said that she saw the thief stealing into the bathroom. It says there in your itinerary that the key was with Lanera and length from 1515 to 1545, but Terone saw the thief make off with the book while the train was going under a tunnel at 1540. So it means that Daria had no way to get into the locker during the time frame that the book was stolen, meaning that she must be innocent. Right? That's right, isn't it? Why isn't this everyone saying anything? Ha ha. And I must vigorously reiterate, Is that really the conclusion you've drawn from the evidence presented? With this rich tapestry of potential indiscretion and laid bare before you? Yes? Incredible. Oh, Tisius, this is exhilarating. Why didn't you tell me? The pure jolt of adrenaline that one feels when seeing a wrinkle in someone's argument and preparing to decisively, irrecoverably, methodically iron it out. Stop drawing it out, Stells. You're making a mockery of the court. I'm not the one making a mockery of this sacred institution. Your so-called defense can't possibly be taking this seriously. Observe the condition in which the locker was discovered. So they broke the lock? The thief used force to obtain their quarry. All you've done is prove your client's guilt. Clever rhetorical feint. Will you whisper in your protege's ear this time, Tisius? Wonderful question. What do you have to say for yourself, trusty protege? Well, we don't know how the locker was broken into, so we can't prove anything definitively yet. Right? Wrong. We do in fact possess the means of burglary. What do you have to say for your client now? Oh no, Joey. Maybe Daria did do it after all. No, we can't give up just like that. You know, we just met like half an hour ago. No offense, but it's weird how invested you are in this. It's not right. Tough crap. Excuse me, everyone. Why are you fighting me when I'm trying to help you? But I'm just saying this seems more like a personal problem than anything to do with me. So what if it is? I don't like this kangaroo court. I don't like seeing people get taken advantage of for the amusement of others. I'm going to blow this case open wide and prove the truth no matter what. An admirable goal, but how do you intend to do that when the issue is so cut and dry? Surely you don't happen to miraculously have an item in your possession that suggests another culprit. I might. What about this thing that was broken in half? I mean, that was in the locker. Can I do... Well, I can't use that. What about this one? What about this? Stop embarrassing yourself. Dang it. And I can't use that. Still. Nail polish. Missing pages. Can we use the missing pages? How about this? What are you doing? Okay, I'm trying my best. Okay, so there's nail polish. There's the itinerary. There's this tape. There's that, which doesn't work. I don't know. Nail polish? Maybe this will change your mind. Yawn. I'm boring him. This is difficult. Okay, this time I have it for sure. Please, can I? Your honorable tyranny, I think we're finished here. Thank you, might be right, buddy. Wait. A little disappointed, to be honest. Thought I'd be a better show than this. Don't. Daria, let's go. Sigh. Wait! Attention, everyone. Before we do anything hasty that we might regret later, I have a few facts to point out. The lock was vandalized using a sharp cutting implement. Although this could have indeed been accomplished using a nail file found in Daria's locker, there were several other items aboard this train car that could have achieved a similar effect. For example, a bladed strife specibus. There is someone sitting in the galley right now, currently in possession of such an item. 5. To not consider all possibilities at this juncture would be irresponsible. Therefore, 6. I suggest the defense call this new witness to the stand. You mean... Tegiri? Tegiri, this Jadeblood accuses you of committing the capital offense of vandalizing a sacred historical artifact, which also happens to be a piece of subversive contraband. Do you understand the gravity of this accusation? It is a double crime. What if... I did do it? What? Wild. What? Is this a confession? We're just talking hypotheticals here. See, the troll who committed this crime was both nimble with the blade and true brain genius. And while I will not admit to anything that would incriminate me, based on these attributes, you are right to suspect me. Oh my gosh, are we really doing this? I must defend my honor. I wouldn't expect a low blood to understand. We're the same blood caste, you absolute idiot. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. Joey's not gonna rise to some weak bait like, just try me. Let the games begin. Let's engage in a thought experiment. Let's say I did it. Let's say we're having a deeply intellectual exchange of free speech, which the possibility of participation in such an act would not result in prosecution. In such a model, one might say that this crime could not have been accomplished with a third-rate specific such as a nail file. The cut is too elegant to have been inflicted by a plebeian using a feminine grooming tool. If you're saying that this is a crime is indeed a feat of agility and intellect, then it must have been attributed to the most cunning warrior poet on the train. In theory. Are you satisfied? The current witness is obviously trolling the court. Well, yeah, we aren't all trolls here. We sure are. Anyway, something is still bugging me. Let's go over it again from the top, if you insist. Okay, so let's see. In such a mode, one might say this crime could not have been accomplished by a third-rate specific such as a nail file. Press. Wait. Is that true? If that's not possible for the lock to have been cut by a nail file? I don't understand this isn't a testimony in favor. He's asserting that your client could not have possibly committed the crime that she's accused of. Well, isn't that case my line of inquiry benefits you, so why aren't you arguing? Well, that's because she loves to argue. I do not. She always picks a fight about how she doesn't want to pick fights. Are you trying to embarrass me in front of every stranger we meet on this trip? I wonder. The nail file isn't the best reinforced chondrite slab on the market. It would be quite sufficient to cut through one of the cheap locks we use. Link, you're not helping. I'm not trying to. So it would be more accurate to say that it's your opinion that the lock could not have been cut by a third-rate blade like a nail file. You could say that. Your honorable tyranny, this tangent is a waste of everybody's time. Concurred, move it along. Okay. In my opinion. Because it's too elegant to be inflicted by a plebeian using a feminine grooming tool. If you're saying this crime's indeed a feat of agility and intellect, it must have been committed by a cunning warrior poet on the train. In theory. Okay. What about this one? Wait, stop. Is this a confession? Not as such. It's a dialectical experiment. What does that even mean? It means that he is wasting the court's time. Objection, your honorable tyranny. This entire digression is pointless. Back on track, girls. Let's engage. Okay. Tis yes. Like he said, his big brain words, so you have to prove that he was hanging near the lockers around the time when the book was stolen. Okay, so what about this tape? Come on. Man, I'm gonna lose this so hard. Baseless accusations. They aren't baseless. Yeah, hey Joey, as much as listening to this guy makes me want to gouge up my oral canals, this is going nowhere, and I think it's time you step aside and let the experts handle this. Lost again. Freaking. But why? Is it the duty of a philosopher to ask questions? No, I mean, why should we guarantee that you won't get prosecuted? Promising that you won't face consequences for what you say is kind of like giving you special privileges. I didn't realize this court was being run by a bunch of CJWs. Are you seriously accusing me of a high blood privilege? No, I'm accusing you of being a coward. I see that I underestimated you. But in order to defeat me in this theoretical paradigm, you must first prove that I had motive and the means to compensate for your natural deficiencies. I will throw you a bone and admit that in such a mode, one might say that this crime would not have been accomplished with a third-rate specific such as a nail file, in my opinion. The cut is too elegant for that. In theory. Tizius, help me. That this beta tier nerd was lurking around the Jade Lockers. I know. You would do this. Objection. You would be ogling a figurine because you're a nerd. Here, I want you to take a look at this. It's a 1/25th interjection modeled polystyrene model of the... Oh no. Mode Imperial drone last active during the Rustblood zombie rebellion of the Black Age. But of course, everyone knows that. I didn't, not until you told me earlier. You never did explain what you were doing near the Jade Lockers, especially since you claim to hate Jade drama so much. Could it be that you were looking for something that belonged to you? Oh, he's beginning to sweat. I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. What are you waiting for? Swooping for the kill. Of course it doesn't belong to you. You wouldn't mind if I tossed it out. Wait. Objection. Well, before you get rolling, let me save you from wasting your breath. Yes, it's very clever for you to have manufactured an anti-alibi out of thin air, but you've made one very serious logical error that I simply cannot overlook. Oh? Did you forget the basic conceit of this trial? I think I might have actually... There's so much going on, it's getting a little hard to follow. And let me brief you on the case so far. We're not trying to ascertain who was lurking. We're trying to figure out who broke into Bronia's locker. Even if Tegiri is the proper proprietor of this disgusting nerd object, how does it give him a motive? Sweet obs from the auditor. I'd have gave this sword boy worth any of our time. Once again, we arrive at the only logical conclusion based on the evidence presented. Your client is G-U-I-L-T-Y. You ain't got no alibi. Great. No. Wow. Now just a minute, Stells. Give us a chance to mount a rebuttal before gloating, wouldn't ya? Is that the customary under this hip new trial process? I've never known you to postpone gloating under any circumstances. Of course not, but we're running a lab of sorts here. What kind of experiment would it be if we didn't test all the variables, huh? You know just how to sweet-talk me. And how does his honorable tyranny feel about allowing the defense to mount a rebuttal? I'll allow it. One chance. Better pick carefully or it's game over, buddies. Let's take another look at the evidence and see if we can figure out why Tegiri was hanging around the Jade Lockers. Are you also a cat nerd? I think this is it. Joey, this is way too much pressure for me. If we get this wrong, then I'll feel pretty bad. Yeah, but you don't really think Marvis will trap us in here just because we lost a dumb game, do you? That's, not really a problem with it. Are you absolutely sure about that? I don't know. No. Okay, let me see. Prepared with black nail polish. I mean, he could have been breaking into the lockers to get the black nail polish in order to fix the drone. So maybe it's this? Either way, I am so saving this. Let's try the nail polish then. Are you absolutely sure about that? Let's try it. Yes, I'm sure. Well, what you got for us, Joe? This. Interesting. A few years ago, I stepped on my brother's Tiger handheld and cracked the screen. There was no way I could glue it back together. But my babysitter showed me how to use clear nail polish to seal cracks in delicate surfaces while also preventing further damage. I mean, she didn't put it like that. She explained that nitrocellulose dissolved into butyl acetate would form a clear, flexible varnish over the LCD screen. You can seal hairline fractures without ruining the way something looks. Smart. Tegiri has done nothing but mock the Jades for their delicate behavior since this case started. So he must have known that one of them would have something like this in their locker. Compelling argument, Joe. What say the witness? Oh boy. He's got the contacts in. I cannot confirm or deny anything. What? My gosh. What do you mean by that? Let me explain. While your supposition ascertains that the culprit in this case would have to possess advanced reflexes, refined instincts, and intelligence within the top percentile, you have only provided the material motive. You have yet to present cognate psychological reason to prove Miss Ursama's accusation. Is this something we really care about? Of course. You're deeply thirsty for a glimpse into my dark and tortured soul. It actually sounds like you have a pretty good idea of where you want this to go, so why don't you just tell us? As expected of a low IQ thin blood, no sense of drama or suspense, why would I hand you the key to my defeat? In the immortal words of the famous philosopher Patera Benter, hit me with your best shot. Well, did that actually do anything? Tizias. This moron wants you to prove why he'd want to steal the book. Okay, thank you. We got your internet history. We have something that can prove you'd want to read Fresh Teeth. I have your internet history. How'd you even get that? I mean, how is it going to help your case? All you're gonna prove is that I am a genius of the highest caliber who spends his days exploring literary masterworks. Reading literary masterworks? More like reading cheap, exploitive, X-rated nonsense. I implore the court to look further at some of these searches. Female rainbow drinker. Let's see. Female rainbow drinker. Kismesis reader, quadrant vacillation, femdom. Bioluminescent waifu, gifts, 2D animated 3D PD. Female rainbow drinker, heart reader, hurt comfort, Quizzilla. Suck me bone dry. Need I go further? You are making a mockery of my intellectualism. These are searches for only the most serious of scholarly works. Then, why do you care to explain why you're searching for this weird stuff if not to get your rocks off? Nothing about my internet history is salacious in the least. Only a noob would call it filthy. But inevitably, I owe you with no thorough explanation for my internet searches related only to sensitive topics. A man's waifu. And if you're forcing me to reveal my waifu without consent, well, that's essentially challenging me to a duel. Unless, of course, your waifu is crap. I am proud to say that my waifu lives among the highest of echelons. Even God tier does not suffice to describe it. Very tempting to put that as B4, but no. I will resist. It's pretty clear that he didn't do it, but I'm not sure how to proceed. If we dismiss him now, Stelsa might just end the trial right there and declare Daria guilty. Then why not just let him dig his own grave? Because that wouldn't be right either. I don't want him getting convicted just because he's an... Whoops. We need to prove Daria innocent by finding the real culprit, not throwing someone else under the bus. Interesting take. You're adding challenge variables to my theory of defensive legislation that I hadn't even considered. They're not challenge variables. We're here to find the truth, right? Sure. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yes, exactly. And find the whole truth. Should be easy. Just prove that he never read Fresh Teeth. Right, let's take it from the top. Objection. Is that a threat? It would be if I considered you worthy of unleashing my blade upon. You're nothing but a squirming wriggler. Actually, I'd probably be the one dueling you. How would you like to duel? I'm pretty okay at stickball, even though sometimes I get a little wild with the Cubat. Well, while I'm sure you've amassed some physical prowess on account of your sludgy blood, the hand-to-mouth lifestyle of those of your ilk, I'm afraid that uneducated meatheads such as yourself would be obliterated in a duel against me. I would not rush to such hasty provocation if I were you. My duels are duels of the mind, not muscle. Yeah, I guess I'm not that smart. Weren't you just talking about using your sword on me? It was a metaphor. A supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Philosopher Sun Tzu Sun. I think he's scared of you. No way, that would be silly. Unless, of course, your waifu is crap. Press. What makes a waifu, poop tier? Well, you've queried the right troll. First off, a good waifu must exist only in two-dimensional plane. The third dimension is imperfect and will never be pure enough to sate those with high-caliber taste like me. Secondly, a good waifu possesses the demeanor of a delicate purbeast. They must attend to your very mental need without complaint or resistance. Thirdly, they have to print well on the body pillow. If they do not meet any of those requirements, they are crap tier. I'm sorry, I asked. I can see you're not getting it. No, I think I get it just fine. Don't worry, your low-blood think pan simply isn't prepared for such extremely advanced subject. Let me provide you with a quintessential example of bad waifuism so you know what to avoid. Any member of Hatch to Dance. In fact, as a group, they stand as perhaps some of the clearest examples of what irreparably soils a waifu. What? Objection, this is absurd. I don't even want to talk about boy bands. Overruled, I want to see where he's going with this one. Let's start from the top. The indigo blood, on whores. Perhaps the most tragic of the lot, his pectoral development is magnificent, and yet this is somehow his downfall. A tragic case of putting one's eggs all in one basket. There's simply nothing more to note about his person. Abysmal dancing prowess, remedial singing ability. What? And to be honest, he's what in the business call a butterface. I just read butterface in a Homestuck related video game. Goodness. Sir, I must respectfully ask. 1, do you have eyes? Then the cerulean blood, Kimani. Oh no, stop. A beautiful and skilled singer, I'll admit, but his waifu quotient is severely diminished by his sluttiness attribute. Kimani is simply a revolting slattern. Just from looking at him, you can tell he consorts with many more trolls than he has quadrants. The group bucket. Truly it disgusts me to even think of this one. You're being so mean. I can't believe this. The teal blood, Tiagon. As a teal myself, I find him particularly offensive. First of all, to waste our blood-cast boundless intellectual ability on being a little dancing man is a shame, no matter how impressive his steps might be. Second, I can't help but feel he is cribbing my brand by wearing that hat all the time. It's personal. Third, he never responded to my challenge to duel, a rank coward. I think I'm going to pass out. And then there's the jade-blooded rapper, Actias. No, not Actias. What can I say but those shoes? good troll lord, those shoes. I've got to agree with him on this one. No, the first slides are dope. Daria, please. Attias has the fashion sense of a dumpster goblin. And he's simply a complete idiot. What? Would you stop trying to brag that you know him? What? Believe me, there is nothing I feel about my acquaintance with Attias that even vaguely resembles pride. Just hearing his name makes my gastric sac churn. Sorry to interrupt your little slap fight, but believe that it is I who is conducting the vicious roast here, not you. My apologies, please continue. Lastly, there's Vestry the Olive Blood. Him, I admit. His diminutive stature and impish demeanor. His grub-like yet seductive features that belie a maturity beyond his sweeps. His icy manner that conceals a tender inner core he reveals to only his most trusted allies. Were he not but in possession of one dimension too many, in the end he too is consigned to the ranks of three-dimensional pig disgusting. I am going to kill you. She's not threatening me, so we can't. Bingo card doesn't work. This is so trite. Why does this matter? Why are you all screaming? Hatched to dance are beautiful sinless souls, and I can't stand to hear this idiot talk about them this way. I guess I could have said bastard, but oh well. Their posters are all over the walls of our caverns. They're probably the leading cause of fights in the cloisters. There are only so many people in the cloisters to pale with until you've got to turn to idolatry for something new, I guess. Plus, I don't have to look Actius in the eye every day for the next sweep after I'm done. If you ever had, you wouldn't want to. Shut the heck up, Lank. I'm the only one who doesn't care about these boys. Sorry, Stells. Can't say that they're my taste personally, but I can objectively acknowledge that Hatched to Dance is a perfectly serviceable suite of waifus. Objection! No, you can't object. You're on the stand. There are rules we must follow. Your honorable tyranny, sir, I must request we move on from this completely pointless and irrelevant tangent and get back to the trial. Wait, hold up. The phone. I think I want to hear more about this Vestry guy. No! Aww. Nothing about my internet histories. That was a great, oft... Oh, gosh. Press. If it's not salacious, then what is it? It's a dark web contraband text the masses cannot handle. I am the elite hacker admin of a hidden virtual library which hosts reams of these forbidden texts. Okay, so you're trying to make it sound really cool by using all these big words and being abstract and stuff, but to me it seems like you just enjoy reading naughty novels. Plebes like you may consider it naughty, but I operate on a higher plane of existence. I understand real literature. I am an expert in all sorts of banned books, from censored cartoons to the edgiest of light novels. So does that include the Rainbow Emotion Saga, like you knew about it before this whole train ride? Of course, what kind of elite-level poet warrior would I be if I were not aware of every single banned book that had ever been written? That seems pretty important. I think you should mention that you've been reading filthy books in your testimony. It's not filthy, it's fine art. Trust me, I'm well versed in the definition of filthy. I'm expert in all areas of dark web content. Press. If you read the book, you'd know what was in it, right? Indubitably. What do you think, we could trick him somehow? Wow, getting a little underhanded, I see. I mean, all we have to do is prove he never read Fresh Teeth, right? So let's see if he responds to something that is clearly not from that Rainbow Drinker series. Okay. How do we do that? I don't know, man. Do we use the Warrior Cat book? In that case, can I read you a passage from this book? Go ahead and tell me if you recognize it. This is beneath me, but I'll do it for the dramatics. Okay, here we go. The sultry, joint-legged blonde beast meandered up to her brood leader, Gunstar. Gunstar? Her hips swaying back and forth, her chest covered in the rainbow smears of her fresh kills, of which there were many. She dropped to her knees before him, her hands clasped in prayer, begging for redemption. Oh, my Starblood, how could you have abandoned me like this? I must be taken on your nightly hunt, ejaculated the blonde. I must prove myself before the moon spirit, or my mate spirit's sword stain will be cold. Sound familiar? Of course it's familiar. Obviously, this is a passage from the profane text in question. Objection! If you really knew about the Rainbow Emotion Saga, you would know the scene I read was from a totally different novel. You've just been duped by Soldier Purvis, Volume 16, Part 3, The Great Squeak Beast Hunt. Yeah, Soldier Purvis is totally different genre, too. I think he might be lying about knowing all this cool contraband stuff. Shut your grub shoot, you quivering normie. Okay, then. I am many things. I am handsome, I am hardcore, and I am indescribably badass, but I am no liar. Alright, clap, clap, good show, guys and gals. This is all settled. Now we can all agree to get to this man off the stand. Did you not hear me? I am many things, but I am no liar. I didn't claim the passage of text was from the Rainbow Drinker novel. I said it was from the profane text in question. That could have meant anything. I was telling the truth. Yes, 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 we all heard you now. Now please leave before you make an even bigger fool of yourself. No, I refuse to leave. Don't you understand? I did it. I stole the book from the locker. It was the coolest thing I've ever done, and I looked like an absolute awesome person as I stalked through the shadows and sniped the forbidden novel like the Bishonen anti-hero theft I am. And I read it. Oh yes, I read it because my brain is the size of a planet and both sides of it are in the shadow. I am the dark side. I am the darkness. Oh jeez. LMAO. Alright, I think we have enough fun for today. Let's end this flarp session and... Are you listening to me? I said I did it. I'm guilty. Guilty. Balla buddy, this be some juicy confesh. Fine, if you're committed to getting cold, I may have to oblige you, but since I'm so nice, I'll give you one more chance to back out before calling the case. Why would I back out? Gosh, this trial is totally a bust. Hold it. There is a crucial piece of evidence that's been overlooked. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed something. No, it's cool. It's just some... No, it's cool. It's just some insider info I have. Tegiri, would you hand me your sword? This blade is my life, my body, my soul. Yeah. Just hand it over or I'll petition his honorable tyranny to acquire it for me. I don't want it to leave my side. Hand it over, big bud. She knows what's up. Here. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I have before me the katana our witness claims to have used to steal the contraband item from Miss Ursama's locker. Now pay close attention. I will draw this sword from its sheath and slice my hand off at the wrist. Surely if the blade were sharp enough to cut metal, it would be sharp enough to cut through bone. Even with my sad little bookworm muscles applying the force. Shing. Stop! Honeybee, what are you doing? Tisius, no, you need both hands so you can hold things. Oh, it's totally dull. Not even a paper cut? See, no matter how hard I slice myself with it, it fails to cut through even the thinnest part of my wrist. Tegiri, the sword is nothing but cheap knockoff. I think you got this at Troll Spencer's Gifts. No, there must be a mistake. Alright, somebody pull him off the stand before he has a fainting spell. I got it. Wait, but if Tegiri's sword didn't cut the lock, then what did? Like I said before, this foolish diversion, we already identified the high-quality nail file found in Daria's locker. And that nail file is Daria's. Well, tear her apart already. Now here's a gal who knows what's up. I'm calling on her to attest. Oh, wait! Before Linares steps to the stand, I have something really important to say. Hello, everyone. Oh, wow, it's a little scary to be up here in front of all of you. Especially since I have a terrible dramatic secret that will change the whole course of the trial. What sort of terrible dramatic secret, dear? Oh, it really hurts to do this. I'm close to breaking down. My blood pressure aches, but I cannot stand by and do nothing. You see, in order to protect poor, sweet, innocent Daria, I must present a piece of evidence that maybe might implicate another one of my precious friends. I have before me Lanera's secret diary. Her what now? Lanera has a secret diary? Excuse me? How dare you? How did you even know about that? You always write in it during our lessons when you think I'm not paying attention. Anyway, contained within are detailed dates and times that prove Daria could not have stolen any part of the Rainbow Emotion Saga. Ooh woo. Pass over the diary, sweetheart, and let the Auto-Terror scrutinize the documents. The relevant timeline starts on page 406. I bookmarked it for you. Ooh woo. Oh yes, I see. This is an incredibly detailed account of where each Jade Blood was during the theft. All parties were accounted for, excluding Lanera, of course. Don't keep it to yourself, sis. Share the hot goss. Of course, I will now read aloud the appropriate passage concerning the accused. And then Daria had to go toddle off to the Blue Blood car to hit on someone like the slut she is. She claimed she was just getting a midday snack. For 20 whole minutes at 15:30. Someone needs to call her already. She's such a bleep who makes my bleep tremble. Bleep! I wish she'd just disappear. I wish a contrived series of events would happen in order to excommunicate her from the commune. What was that, and how are you making that noise with your mouth? Oh, Lanera senses her diary with nail polish. Ew woo. That seems counterproductive. I didn't write any of that. Okay, I maybe wrote some of it. Most of it. But not all of it. If this is all true, I think it disqualifies Daria from being the culprit since she was getting a snack during the theft. Yeah, sure, a snack. Lol. What kind of snack? Like a person snack? Well, this is an exciting development. Thank you very much for sharing this piece of evidence, my dear. Is there anything else you would like to present before the court? No, that's it. I hope it clears some things up. While this is extremely helpful, we'll have to call Daria up to the stand before I can confirm or deny anything within this journal. Wait! I'd like to look at the diary before we go any further. There might be some important details inside. I want to call a recess. A recess? But we're at the most exciting part of the trial. IDK, I could use an intermission. The anticipation gets you all lubed up for the main event. My brain hurts so freaking much. Jeez, this car is forever. Lanera's secret diary is pretty incriminating. Every single Jade is accounted for during the theft except for her, and she certainly got a motive and probably could have broken the lock. But something doesn't feel right about this. How so? I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. Yeah, me neither. Maybe it's because we've got nothing to cross-reference. Like, we're relying on this one piece of evidence alone. If this journal is the only truth you have, then you gotta believe in it. But what if it's not the whole truth? Then you must discover more of your truth. If something feels wrong, it's your duty to investigate further and cull your uncertainty before it grows into a monster. I see. Never mind, start the trial. I'd like to talk with everyone again. In that case, I'd like to talk with everyone again. Go get 'em, champ. My entire face hurts. Oi. Talk to Gary. Corona. Oh no, please, I already did my time. You already asked me questions. We've been through all this. I think you did it, Corona. It's nothing. That's what I thought. Talk. You think you did it? Wow, I figured you weren't as stupid as you look because honestly I didn't think that was possible. But here you are, going above and beyond the call of duty. Wait. Select 2. I didn't know this would do this. Leave me alone already. I'm not answering any more bullcrap questions about my music tastes. Okay, I was just curious to see what would happen. Tegiri. What veritable carnival of entertainment, eh? Think you did, Tegiri. It's nothing. Pointless conversations constitute a small service charge of payment and by post. Curious what happens if you do talk. What? I suppose you believe you have proof. Let's see. I have to select 2. So, presenting that. And I don't know. The schedule. This is what you get for trusting outsiders. Rania, it wasn't personal. Wasn't personal. You just shoved a bunch of worthless evidence that had nothing to do with me and claimed I was guilty of stealing a book I already had access to. What isn't personal about that? We were just... You know what? We're done. Don't talk to me. I think I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a break. Anyway, we will continue on with the stupid courtroom drama. Jeez, I didn't think this would go on for as long as it did. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Hiveswap Act 2. I will see you all next time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you around. Bye!
Hey there. Consider becoming a patron, just like the phenomenal Bleed Red, Alexander Madeline, Uranium Coffee, and Ryan Nelson.